beautiful creative people. This is Kyla Givehand of Giving Hands Creative, and I am back to doing Book in a Day the way that I love to do it, without a live audience. I tried that experiment last month for June and it was fun, but it's not my preferred way to connect with you all. So here I am back to the old tried and true method. So, and just to keep, to stay in true form, I am coming to you on the last day of the month at the very last minute to try and get a book done. But I know what I want to do, so that makes it a little easier, and we'll hope that that makes it go by without too much drama. And I'm going to keep it simple. I've been doing mostly blank books, and I'm just going to keep with that. So I'll do a time check. It's 9:58, July 31st. So 9:58 p.m. just to be clear. So I'm going to keep it simple, but before I do that, I wanted to go through the books I've done this year so far. So the very first book for January was based on my one little word for the year, which is breathe. And it was what I'm calling, it's like a little purse or pouch or an envelope, however you want to look at that. So this was the first book of the year. And then in February, I did a Flexagon book using stencils from Stencil Girl Stencils, the Mary Nasser stencils, which I love because they have the map, the different maps on them, so I really love that. So it was a Flexagon book, and I did a whole interview with my friend Lyle, and where she showed a Flexagon book that she created as well. So lots of Flexagons in February. And then in March, I did this book that I had never done before with this little tied binding, and I really liked that one. And it was just a bunch of jelly plate printed pages that I had, and pages left over from just sort of scrap paper, I guess, from other projects. And so I just made a little book out of that. And then in April, I did this graduated sort of waterfall book, which could really be looked at this way or this way, whichever way. And again, this was, pages that I had just, scraped paint on and had a little, background already done. So I thought, well, let's add some beads to it and make it a book. So that was that one. And then in May, I got a really great gift from one of our viewers, and it was the Bind It All, and so I created a book for the Elisa Burke class that I was starting called Flower Power, and you can see I've been sort of playing around with it and making flowers and learning about different types of ways to use watercolor and play around. So I haven't gotten very far, but I've been playing, so we have that. And then last month for the live stream experiment, I created a star book using my jelly plates, my jelly arts printing plates, gelatin printing plates, and that was fun. So this was the star book that came out of that, and it's just pages that were printed using the jelly plates. So some of them are scraped paint, and then some were, like this one was definitely a jelly printed plate or page, as was this one. So I tried to have a variety in there so that it would be, you could get a different look in the book. All right, so those are the books so far this year. And today I'm actually going to do a variation. I say today, in this hour, I'm actually going to do a variation on the Japanese stab bound book. And if you remember from 2013, I did two books that were basically stab bound, but different variations, different kinds of stab bound books. This was the one I did when I went on a road trip not even a road trip, it was a sort of a business slash family trip. I think we went to New Orleans, and we were in North Carolina, and then Minneapolis to visit my sister-in-law. And so if you remember that book, that was the one, and I did that stab binding for that one. And then the Love Ledger book is also a variation on the stab bound book, even though I punched holes instead of stabbing. So that is what makes it a variation, is that I punched the holes instead of actually stabbing and threading through a stabbed page. Okay, so today I was thinking, and I'm going to pull out this drawer of craziness. So whenever I am cutting, I'll just pull back just a little bit. Whenever I'm cutting paper or resizing paper, or I end up with a bunch of different sizes, and I just toss them all into this drawer. So I was thinking, I should go through this drawer, I should see what I have. So this is a bunch of deli paper that someone gave me. It's like squares. And we'll take that out because we won't be using that for this. But I'm sure somewhere in here there's some paper that I can use to create a blank book using single sheets. So that is sort of where I am right now. I'm going to try and find some pieces that are already cut and maybe already the same size or close to being the same size, maybe. See if I luck out. I don't know that I will. I have a lot of remnants in here, but nothing. Let's take that stack out. This is like tons of projects, right, that I could be doing. Could be making little things with these strips and squares. I could do a little book of squares. Let's set that to the side because maybe that will be it. Uh-oh, looks like we got a stack. We have a winner. Okay, so this is a good stack, I think, for what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to use those. Yes. Okay, this is the one I'm going to use. And I think I'm going to try and find a piece of paper for the cover that can just sort of wrap around these and create sort of a spine maybe for the book. And then I'm just going to do a stab binding. I'm actually going to do it on this end, a stab binding with some thread, and keep it pretty simple. So I'm going to pull out my needle and thread. I might need my bone folder, I'm not sure about that. And all. Even though that's really not the one I want. One of these two. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do. I'm going to keep it really super simple. And I think I need probably my little cutting mat so I can actually stab the pages sufficiently. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. So I am going to speed this up so you don't have to sit and watch me, poke holes into paper. But before I do that, I am going to find a piece that can be my cover. I'll see you back here in a second. Okay, so I found a piece that I'm going to use for the cover just because it is like perfect. It might be too perfect. It's almost like exact, so I really can't make any mistake with the measuring of it. beautiful people. It's 11/21, same day, July 31st, and the book is done for all intents and purposes. So I did a stab binding, and I always, I love the way they look, but they are the least functional book binding, in my opinion. They're beautiful to look at, but they're not very functional, and so, you know, the book doesn't really, you know, if I wanted to write in it, I probably could get about that much writing in the, you know, because it doesn't open all the way. I could probably score this and help fold it back some, and I may do that. I don't know what I'm going to do with this flap yet. I might end up cutting it off and just having this open with the deckled edge. We'll see. I'm not quite sure, but I do love the way it looks. I just love that wrapped around the spine look. So what's new about this and different from the other stab bindings that I've done in the past, they all have the spine is exposed and the sheets are all single, right? That was sort of the difference. So this one has a wraparound cover where the cover actually wraps around the pages, and I scored, you know, I made a score spine so that the pages would sort of sit in there. And so the book is together, it's bound, but it's, again, it's not very functional, and I need and love functional books. It does have that thing I like with the sort of sturdy and heftiness of it. That is absolutely present. But for the most part, it's just pretty to look at. I don't know how I would actually, and I guess, like I said, I'm going to play around with it and see what I can do to sort of massage it and loosen it up a little bit. But this is Book in a Day, July 2014, and it's done. And yeah, I'm looking forward to August. I will not be waiting until the last day of the month in August, but July has just been super crazy. It's my husband's birthday month, and we've been traveling a little bit for like business-related work stuff, and it's just been a crazy month overall. So I'm here at the end of the month making a book. But we got it done, and it was done all in one day, which is the whole point and goal of Book in a Day. So yeah, this is a done deal, and maybe I'll leave that flap on the outside. I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. Anyway, the other thing that I want to tell you about, September 1st, I am doing an 8-day creative empowerment challenge, and I want to invite you to join me. I want to encourage you to join me. I want to pressure you to join me. I want you to come and spend some time with me. 8 days. It's free, it's online, it's going to come to your email, and it's really me giving you sort of a jump start towards empowering yourself creatively. I know I use that terminology a lot. In my Book in a Day videos and all my videos, I talk about creative empowerment and the power of being creative and what that all means and how it shows up in the world, how you can show up in the world. And so I'll be spending 8 days sending you prompts and sort of action steps to take to reconnect to your creativity, or find your creativity if you've lost it, or identify what creative outlet you love and help you explore and discover and identify your gifts and talents and passions. Because I think some of us, we think creativity is like this fairy dust or some special thing that gets sprinkled on us and only a few people get it. But I absolutely believe every single person has a creative spirit, and that there's something creative about you, whether it's the way you cook or the way you paint your nails, do your hair, color your hair, put on makeup, the way you dress, the socks you wear. I don't know. We all have creative things that we do to show up creatively in the world. And so I would love for you to join me for an 8-day creative empowerment challenge. I'll make sure that you have all the details and all the information you need to sign up for it. Again, it's free, no charge. We're just gonna spend 8 days, you know, trying to figure out what makes us tick creatively. So I hope you will join me. I will put all the details in the description. I will put details on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, so make sure you're following me in all of those places. And then the last thing I have to say is, oh my God, OMG, you all, you people that are subscribing to this channel are amazing. I adore you. You are blowing my mind. We are over 2,000 subscribers. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy to me. It's like insane. That means it's time for a giveaway. So stay tuned for information about a giveaway. It's probably going to be connected to the challenge, the 8-day challenge. It'll probably all be sort of woven in together and tied into that. So stay tuned for that, because I am super honored, ridiculously honored, that you all have stuck around this long and that you subscribe and that you actually watch the videos and you send me comments and emails, and I love you all, and I'm excited that there's so many new people joining us and chiming in and sharing. I love it. Alright, so I'm gonna wrap up, and I'm gonna say what I always say: go out and create something beautiful today. Kyla Give Hand signing off. I'll see you back here for August 2014, Book in a Day. Bye.